Hey, what's happening, everybody? So, Mr. Who's the Boss recently made a video talking about why everybody's buying iPhones, right? And he made a lot of good points in the video. And this is not a, I mean, this is a response video, but this isn't, I'm not over here roasting him or not going to be coming at him or nothing crazy like that. What I am going to do is, there's some things that he said that are true that I disagree with. Now, what I mean by that is the reasons that some people buy an iPhone, I totally disagree with. Now, for one, is an iPhone a status symbol? I think that's the stupidest reason to buy a phone. A phone's a phone, right? And look, I know there's a lot of people out there who you start out poor, right? And then you make a little money and you want to be able to get the stuff that you never were able to afford. Now, with that being said, Mr. Who's the Boss mentioned like the Samsung Galaxy S22, S23 Ultra. You know, these are $1,000 phones, just like these iPhones are $1,000 phones, or more specifically, $1,200 phones, right? But for some reason, Apple has this whole image. Apple doesn't sell anything for cheap. There's no such thing as the budget line with Apple. All right. So, I mean, the cheapest iPhone that they sell is like the SE, and that thing goes for like $400 or something like that, or $499. So that's not even cheap. Now, Samsung has phones out there that are like dirt cheap, or Android in general has dirt cheap phones. So even if you do have the latest and greatest Samsung Galaxy phone, you know, it's still a Samsung phone, and, you know, Samsung is still that company that actually has phones like in the $100 range, right? And like with all the other Android manufacturers, I don't think Google does. I don't think you can get a Google Pixel for like $100 or anywhere. They don't sell nothing cheap like that. But anyway, I digress. So that's like the number one thing that I have a problem with people in general, that, you know, they buy an iPhone, it's a status symbol, they're climbing the ladder in life, and they think that's the way of showing it. Me personally, if you're climbing the ladder in life and if you want to, I'm not a status symbol kind of person, but and the way my mind works, the way I think, is if you're going to have a status symbol, you know, you're not going to buy an iPhone to show off your status. If you're going to you know, you're going to buy like a $50,000 watch, you're going to drive around in a $500,000 car, you're going to live in a crazy expensive house, you know, something like that. Just look, and another reason, look, I know people buy iPhones for iMessage. There's a lot of social pressure involved in that. And that's wrong. It's horrible that it's like that. I mean, look, if you love iMessage and your friends and family love iMessage, that's cool. But say like you're a separate dude or a dudette. Say you're just a person on your own doing your thing, and you love using, you love using Android, you love using Google Messages, Android Messages, and you love RCS. And you want to just keep doing it. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But the only problem is, like, whenever say you are like one of those people and you're texting other folks with iPhones, you know, it's not going to be the same. You're not going to have your RCS isn't going to work with somebody using iMessage, and vice versa. So that's going to be sucky right there. So there's a whole lot of social pressure involved when purchasing an iPhone. Another reason he talked about the ecosystem, and but even me, I don't want to be in the Apple ecosystem. I just kind of am. Look, I'm a content creator, and I get paid to do this, all right, in one way, shape, form, or another. My phones are tax write-offs, just like every other content creator. They don't tell you this, but they try to pretend that they're poor, or they try to pretend that, oh, I don't want to spend money. Well, they're not spending money. These are tax write-offs. So those people have been lying to you all. But the next thing I wanted to talk about, and I've really lost my train of thought a little bit. Oh, the more Apple stuff you buy, the stronger each product gets. So if you just have an iPhone by itself, it's kind of pointless, right? I mean, it's not pointless, but it's an iPhone, and there you go. But once you buy some AirPods, well, there you go. Then the AirPods work perfectly with it. You go and buy an iPad, you can transfer back and forth. You go and buy a Mac, you buy an Apple Watch. Next thing you know, you got a very powerful ecosystem around you. And if that's the legitimate reason you are doing it, cool. All right. As long as you're not doing it for the status symbol, as long as you're not being social pressured into buying an iPhone, there's nothing wrong with having an iPhone. But the only reason I say having an iPhone can be wrong is if you've been bullied into it. You should never be bullied into buying anything. And the fact of the matter is, with an Android, with a Samsung Galaxy, you have 1 trillion times more features than you'll ever have on an iPhone. You get more bang for your buck with a Samsung Galaxy. Everything is just better like that. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about. But look, if you got money to blow, And if you're all about that Apple life, that's cool, I mean, then go ahead and do it. But as far as like that video that Mr. Who's the Boss made, he had a lot of valid points. He wasn't saying nothing that wasn't true. But the stuff that he was saying, though, is the reason that people do buy iPhones can be very disturbing. All right, but that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate all of you watching. If y'all have any special requests, please hit me up in the comments of this video or over on Twitter at Ace Lucero Tech, and I will catch all of you in the next one. Take care.